In this video, we're going to look at how we can use Pythagoras Theorem twice in a question. So some questions, you can't just go straight to the answer. You have to do Pythagoras Theorem twice. So if you have a look at this question, you have to find x. And to find x, you would need to have known this side, which you do know. It is 12, that was the hypotenuse. But you would also need to know this side to allow you to find x. So what we must do first is we need to find this missing side. So I'm going to call it y. And we're going to call y. So if you look at the triangle on the top left, we'll just draw it out clearly with a wee sketch just. That's 7, that's 8, and that's y. Y is your hypotenuse. So Pythagoras theorem says c squared equals a squared plus b squared, where c squared is your hypotenuse. So always start with what your hypotenuse is. So your hypotenuse is y squared. Y squared equals 8 squared plus 7 squared. So y squared is equal to 64 plus 49. That means y squared is equal to, so how you do 64 plus 49 in your head, 60 plus 40 is 100, 4 plus 9 is 13, so 100 plus 13 is 113. Now y is equal to the square root of 113. This is a perfect value for your y. So instead of finding what y is, to whatever number of decimal places, just leave it as it is, that is fine. Now if we look at this second triangle, now if we look at this second triangle here, you've got your y, and then you've got your x. Your y was 100 square root of 113, and the hypotenuse was equal to 12. So now we can look at it. So if we look at it, remember, we'll start with the hypotenuse. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So the hypotenuse in this case is 12 squared. And then we have our x squared plus the square root of 113 squared. Now, here, if you have a square root of a number, and then you square it, it just takes you to that number, because square rooting and squaring are inverse functions. They cancel each other out. Just check that in your calculator. Do the square root of 113 and then square it, and you will just get 113. So we have x squared plus 113 on the right hand side. On the left hand side, square the 12, you'll get 144. Okay, so we will bring our 113 across. You'll have 144 minus 113 is equal to x squared. And what is that going to be? That's going to be 31 is equal to x squared, or x squared is equal to 31. And the exact perfect answer is the square root of 31. And if we do that, the square root of 31, do that on your calculator, you will get to 2 decimal places, 5.57. I don't think we had any units here. We'll just say 5.57 units to 2 decimal places. Okay, the next question, similar idea, but a little bit different. You can see we've got to find x, and x, the Pythagoras theorem only works, remember, on a right angle triangle. So x, you could have to find this triangle here. So you know this whole length would be 3 plus 3, so it would be 6. You would also need to find this side to be able to find our x. So we're going to have to find that side I've just drawn. So we're going to have to use this triangle, and we're going to call this side y. So that's what we're going to do. First thing, draw the diagram. Call this y. That's 3, and the hypotenuse of this triangle is 7. So again, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So 7 squared in this case is y squared plus 3 squared. 7 times 7, 7 squared is 49, is equal to y squared plus 9. 49 minus 9 is equal to y squared, which means y squared is equal to 40. And the perfect answer for y is equal to the square root of 40. Now we're going to look at the big triangle. So we're looking at this big triangle here. This is the one we're looking at, and we're looking at it because we now know what our y is. So we know what this side y is. So let's just draw this triangle out. That's our x. Our y is root of 40, and the height, or the vertical side there, is 6. So now to get our x, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So x squared in this case is 6 squared plus the square root of 40 squared. And we'll just tidy it up. That's going to be x squared is equal to 36 plus 40, because remember the square root of 40 squared just gives you 40. Then that means x squared is equal to 76. X is equal to the square root of 76. That's a perfect answer. Let me just do that on my calculator. Let's see what I get. Square root of 76 is equal to 8.72 units, and that's to 2 decimal places. So there you go. That's how we can use Pythagoras theorem twice to find missing sides.